Netflix's Aftershock, Everest, and the Nepal Earthquake not only delivers multiple compelling storylines of survival, but also challenges our idealistic notions of people coming together during a disaster while illustrating the disparity of the rich West and the developing world. That's a lot to tackle, and filmmaker Ollie Lambert does it without spelling it out for the audience. The docuseries follows several storylines before, during, and after the 2015 Nepali earthquake. News headlines at the time focused heavily on the impact at Mount Everest base camp, where dozens died and dozens more were trapped up the mountain. This series also covers what happened in the capital Kathmandu and the Langtang Valley. The series opens with introductions to groups in each area of Nepal and details their backgrounds and motivations for being in Nepal. Only the group in Kathmandu are not there by choice, including a hotel owner and his family, and a government official who is tasked with organizing search and rescue efforts in Kathmandu after the quake. The rest are Westerners coming to Nepal in search of adventure and fulfillment, implying they have the means to not work for weeks or months at a time and pay for food and lodging in a remote part of the world. A potential alternate title for the series might be Aftershock. I'm a Westerner, get me out of here. At Everest itself, a large group of climbers began the ascent in the pre-dawn hours and found themselves stranded at Base Camp 1. Sarah, one of the main protagonists the series follows, is completely and justifiably consumed with getting off the mountain after realizing their path up has been obliterated. While her trauma is understandable, she never mentions concern for anyone outside of her immediate situation. This may be because all communications have been cut off and she has no idea of the total devastation, but she is presented as rather self-absorbed. Another climber stranded with her brags about how much money he spent to climb Everest, and he insists they continue up. Believe it or not, he may not be the most despicable person in the series. In the Langtang Valley, 3 Israelis who have just completed their military service are looking for adventure before they go back to a regular existence on active reserve. They sound like kids taking a gap year to backpack somewhere exotic. After the quake, they try to hike back out the way they came. They find an elderly injured woman, and while one tries to carry her out, another admits that he thought helping her was stupid because all he wanted to do was get out. Later, they see that one of the villages they passed has been completely destroyed with most of the residents killed. At no point do they express any sympathy for the villagers or locals. They are preoccupied with their own escape. They take up with another group of displaced villagers trying to decide what to do. The Israelis decide to go to a devastated village to look for food and somehow end up breaking open a locked box full of cash and almost get lynched by the surviving locals. Again, they don't understand why everyone hates them. Kathmandu is the setting that introduces Arjun, a guy with a checkered past who marries and turns a new leaf thanks to his wife. They run a hotel in the capital and have several children. Lambert masterfully helps Arjun tell his story, and from the beginning you empathize. As you meet Arjun's family, you realize that his story will be tragic. His tragedy is multiplied when politics interferes with the multinational rescue efforts, as the local authorities insist on at least being perceived as leading rescue operations while being dependent on Western teams and technology. The sum total of this series portrays the Western climbers and tourists as super privileged and almost exploitative of their hosts. You never hear them express sympathy for the tragedies that befall their hosts, only their glee at being rescued. The locals who are interviewed work on the mountain because they need to or run poorly constructed hotels because of their dependence on Western tourists. The near poverty they live in is never acknowledged by either the Everest climbers or the Langtang hikers. The narrative of this mixed bag of survivors is structured so that you become obsessed with what's going to happen even if you find the storytellers themselves somewhat abhorrent. You'll come away from this emotionally exhausted, but maybe just a little hopeful after Arjun finishes his tale.